All right, guys, so I know it's been a hot minute since my last video, but I came across this and I felt like this was really important to talk about. And of course, I've seen some other videos talking about this topic as well, and I've seen some other articles. And so I thought I'd kind of give my 2 cents on it. So it is about the Parents Decide Act. And of course, the headline here does read Parents Decide Act pushes Windows 11 and others towards forced age verification. I mean, it's not just Windows 11 this affects every OS. And I'm going to kind of go into the article a little bit and explain to you why this is very concerning. So let's just kind of go through it a little bit. It says lawmakers still want operating systems to verify your age at setup, including Windows, Mac OS, and even Linux. And I'm going to talk about the slippery slope with that as a Linux user myself and why that's damn near impossible. It's like these lawmakers are trying to pass laws when they have no understanding of how this technology actually works and how the open source, community actually works. But let's get into it. So it says age verification could soon be mandated on major operating systems like Windows 11, Mac OS, and even Linux due to new laws requiring tech companies to participate to protect minors. So let me just stop right there for a minute. I'm getting really fucking sick and tired of hearing, well, why don't you think of the kids argument every time that they want to push this bullshit on us? Because that's what they've been saying since the very beginning. When it came to adult content websites, gotta upload an ID, because that's really what this is about, uploading information to prove your age. Now, some people might hear that and go, oh, well, that's not such a big deal. And maybe on the surface, it doesn't seem like such a big deal, but it is. And I'll get into that here more. Let me go through this a little bit more and I'll get into my 2 cents. So it says to protect minors, give guardians more control over digital access, and generally comply with regional regulations. Here's the thing, though, real quick. We already have tools as parents, and as a parent myself, we've already have tools at our disposal to help with this. They've been around for a very long time already. I don't really see the need for more tools. So to me, that just tells me they just want your information. So according to a report by Gaming on Linux, a new bill co-sponsored by New Jersey Democrat Josh Gothamer, I don't care who this is, and New York Republican Elise Steinfick has been introduced to the U.S. House, requiring operating systems to verify a user's age before proceeding with initial installation. Consequently, users of these operating systems, whether temporary as their daily drivers, will be required to enter their date of birth when setting up an account. The Parents Decide Act will also require OS providers like Windows to develop a system to allow an app developer to access any information as is necessary collected by the operating system to carry out this section and any regulation promulgated under this section to verify the date of birth of a user of an app developer. So, I mean, on the surface, this might not sound like a nothing burger, but let's be real. It really is. So far, my understanding of the bill is it's not uploading an ID. It's just simply putting in your date of birth, which we've had those kind of things around for a long time. Like if you ever went to, like, say, an adult website, it might ask you to verify your date of birth, or if there's something adult oriented, it might ask you that, right? Granted, in the early days when I was growing up, it was easy to just go in and say, oh, I was born in, the 60s or the 70s, and you can get around it. And there for a while, you could still do that. However, so I can kind of see that they would make an argument against something like that, where these kids could just do that. I get that. However, at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, it is up to the parents to monitor this stuff for their kids and make those choices. Essentially, this only means that apps and programs installed on your device will have access to your date of birth. While it seems fair to establish control over what minors can access online and give parents the upper hand in digital access, it remains unclear whether the age verification checks will affect privacy and data security with their methods. I absolutely think it will, and I'm gonna get into why. So let's go ahead and go over here. So this article talks about how a new California law requires age checks in Windows, Mac OS, and every clear operating system like that. They straight up want you to upload an ID, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go through this here real quick because I do believe that is the case. Over the past years, age verification has been increasingly prevalent, which we've been seeing a lot of this. Look at what's happening in Europe, the UK right now. It is, they started off slow, and that's my whole point in this. It starts off with something small, something that they think people can get behind, and then it's the snowball effect. It will just snowball, and the next thing you know, you're having to upload your ID to do literally anything on the internet. But yeah, you can look into this California law, but to my understanding of this is they absolutely want you to upload an ID, and this is not good. Not good at all. Does age verification feel intrusive and sketchy? I would argue yes. As early as next year, California's digital age assurance checks will require all operating system providers in state, including Windows, Macos, and Android, iOS, and Linux distros like SteamOS, to collect users' age information during setup. Let's see here. Graphene OS, an Android-based OS spinoff, recently indicated that it won't be party to emerging laws requiring mandatory age verification during setup. Graphene OS will remain usable by anyone around the world without requiring personal information, identification, or an account added to the OS provider. If Graphene OS devices can be sold in the region due to the regulations, so be it. And here's the other thing too. If they're going to do something like this, you can go ahead and throw the whole wanting to create just a local account on your computer. You have to have a Microsoft account. You'll have to have an Apple iCloud account. And now Linux is going to have to figure out what they're going to have to do, because more often than not with a Linux OS, you're just creating a local account and being on your merry way, which is the way most people like it. That's the way I always used to like it. The only reason I have a Microsoft account is because I kind of have to at this point. To do anything, you have to have one. The problem I see with this is going to become a massive invasion of privacy, and not to mention the fact that it's completely pointless to even have. We've already got so many systems in place that want you to put in your date of birth or check your age. There's already systems in place for parental control. Why is this even necessary? And to me, it just screams, we want to know what you're doing at all times. That is all I'm getting from all of this. I know a lot of people that I've talked to in the past, looked at the UK situation and what they're doing over there and going, oh, well, glad that we live in the US. That kind of thing will never happen over here, right? Right?
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's happening. And this is how it starts. It starts off with something small, and then it snowballs. It's, in my particular state where I lived, they actually passed a law where they wanted you to upload IDs if you wanted to access an adult website. Well, certain of those websites, I will not name which website it was, they decided, okay, anyone from your region, you cannot access our site now, and it was IP blocked. Sure, you can get around it with a VPN if you really wanted to, but it just kind of goes to show how ignorant these lawmakers really are to the technology. There was even talks at one point when they finally figured out that people can bypass this with a VPN. They considered the idea of making VPNs illegal. How ridiculous is this? We have people in charge making decisions about things that they have no understanding of. And that's the real problem here. And it's all in the guise of Big Brother is watching you. Don't get it twisted. They're going to tell you they're trying to help you protect their kids. First of all, we don't need their help to do that at all. Second of all, it has nothing to do with that. They could care less about that. They just want to know what all of us are doing at all times, and they want as much information about us as they possibly can. And then let's not even... don't even forget about the fact that as soon as one of these systems is hacked, now bad actors have your information too. Now they've got your ID. They're giving the criminals the keys to your life, to your systems, to your computer, and this is not good. So if this is something you care about, you should definitely really keep an eye on where things are going and take precautions to protect yourself. There is still at least software out there that can help you. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I would definitely be curious to know what you all think about this. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribe if you're new here. And I will see you in the next video.